The Green Skyscraper show, which is really a milestone. We haven't had that many milestones in the green movement in recent years, and this is really a terrific step forward, opening up the whole discussion to the public and letting them see that high-density skyscrapers can be, not only can be, but should be, and are naturally green. Peter is a senior associate in my firm who not only is he a member of the U.S. Green Building Council's New York chapter board, but he is very much a leader in the firm in all of the green work that we do. I'm going to start with a slide that is my friend Julian Oliveras took these pictures, which Julian is a helicopter pilot / photographer. And he's actually flew all the way across the country to get his helicopter repaired in L.A. and did a wonderful essay of what's happening to our Earth, to our country. And as you can see, there's two major patterns to growth in this country. One is vertical in urban environments, and the other is horizontal sprawl. And the beautiful thing about what you see on the left is that we are now finally beginning to recognize the value of high-rise living, and we are starting to, and high-density living, and we're starting to make it better, improve the quality of life, and make this where people not only should be living, but want to be living. As opposed to the slide on the right, I don't want to mix up the left and the right too politically here, but you could is where we, on the left you have defined open space that is being preserved and retained in every possible way and enhanced. On the right you have diminishing open space, which is rapidly eating up our natural habitats. It's creating environments which we can't ever make viable for any sorts of mass transportation, any way of really making them sustainable, other than perhaps putting some photovoltaics on the roof.
You know, I just want to add that, you know, when Bruce and I were discussing how we would talk about FXFowle and building a green practice, we couldn't help but notice the parallel between the current trend in terms of reurbanization of the city and the influx of people that are coming to the city and what it's meant for this firm being an urban-centered firm here in New York, not the satellite office of a major firm, but in fact a real New York City firm, and how fortunate we are to be poised to be in the position to serve the needs that are vastly coming in terms of infrastructure, housing, and the quality of life with all of these people reurbanizing New York. And there are certain parallels with the trends we see in terms of sustainability and, in fact, the way our practice has been structured by Bruce.
A little history lesson. Our forefathers had a lot more understanding of how to, perhaps more out of necessity than anything else, but how to have minimum impact on the environment, how to use the natural resources in effective ways, and never to always be able to carry with you what you brought in, so to speak. And then in the case of the cliff dwellers and the Thule houses, the ability to use the natural environment for ventilation, for shading, for cooling, all of those things which make so much sense, which we seem to have totally lost a grip of, a sense of.
And again, I think, beyond the technical aspects of that kind of inherent necessity for their architecture to heat and cool themselves during the climate seasons, you see a sense of community. And somehow community is often overlooked part of the sustainable picture. It speaks directly to the economics of the situation, which we'll highlight later, because as Carol alluded in her introduction, it's not just about the buildings and their impact on nature, but a true sustainable vision is one that has economic vitality as well as social, and it's really the intertwining of those things.
So now we're looking at a slide, which Julian also took from his helicopter, which, believe it or not, is really the most sustainable environments that we have right now. There isn't anything that not an undisturbed piece of nature here. We have totally altered it. The landscape is 100% different. There's probably not more than 1 or 2 worms in the soil until you get to Central Park. Yet it is really the place where we can be most comfortable in terms of being the most sustainable. What we have to do now, and what has been going on in recent years, is create these environments in a way that enhances the quality of life in them, makes them something that is really appealing for everybody to want to live in, and take the advantage of and create healthy environments, safe environments, and so forth.